the 2008 crisis in a big way. Companies must set aside at least one seat, but potentially two or more as the amount of relief increases on the board of directors for representatives elected by workers. So have workers on the board. Another thing that labor unions have been dying for a long time, but Democrats and Republicans alike have ignored. CBAs should remain in place and not be reopened or renegotiated pursuant to this relief program. Corporations must obtain shareholder and board approval for all political expenditures. And CEOs must be required to personally certify a company is compliance and face criminal penalties for violating these certifications. So Liz coming in hot with this plan. Should be the absolute minimum. The possibility of a nationalization there is somewhat, I think, should definitely be in the mix. It is that really should just be the least there, and that is the Democratic, at least one of the Democratic ideas. But this 247-page bill would provide $1,200 in payments to those earning up to $75,000 a year, those earning $75,000 a year to $99,000 a year would get smaller amounts, and those earning $99,000 plus would get none. So on the Senate floor, McConnell asked Democrats and Democratic senators to join in-person negotiations on Friday, saying the talks would include Mnuchin, Larry Kudlow, and other administration officials. So that'd be interesting. I think it's definitely a starting point to work off. But I think there's some other things you got to include. If you want to bail out, you do the conditions I just listed. If an industry wants to bail out, the conditions must be in place. I doubt it's going to happen. I'm really not optimistic it's going to happen. But for workers, though, you need to go out of your way to the best you possibly can to suspend cost of living expenses. Get them off the table of the vast majority of workers in this country, because that is just something that's not sustainable at this point. It's not something you can ask workers. You can't ask them to continue to pay rent when their income has been completely shut off through no fault of their own. This unemployment insurance stuff going on should definitely be expanded. And I think that's when you start to throw in the cash checks, anywhere from like $1,200 to preferably more, to cover the cost of living and the fact that their kids are going to be home all day. Like, dealing with this crisis, I think it's very, very important that we provide some of that. That should be the first priority before we get to any of these millionaire and billionaire CEOs asking for more government handouts. Let's think about the people first. So I know that's going to happen, and I'm sure, though, one thing I don't doubt is we're going to get a lot more news. Probably not much of it's going to be good, but we will be covering it for you here on Newsflash. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for listening. But again, we are working on getting to more good stuff about non-coronavirus news. Checking out a new show, Processing. If you're already subscribed to Red Alert, you'll get that, but it'll be wherever you get your podcast, talking to young people about growing up, what it's like to live in this crazy situation. So maybe a little bit coronavirus related, but lighter stuff. Come to Newsflash for the heavy dosage. All right, but yeah, thanks so much for listening. Spencer Walsh Radio Network, Spree.com/CSDOPS for all your needs. We are rocking with Uncultured tomorrow night. Live mix coming your way. So see you right then. It's SWRN.